Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Ghosts and Spirits Encounters video. Well, this particular encounter is a special edition one because it happens to come from a fellow cryptid. In this case, this is from a user there within my membership program here on my YouTube channel, and it's from a member by the name of Gomer Kyle. So this is a really neat treat for you fans out there because you'll basically get to hear about an encounter from one of your own, somebody that is a fellow YouTube subscriber, and in his case he was kind enough to share this story with me, so I thought I would definitely showcase here. So I'm going to list the following information below and then give my own thoughts and opinions. Love to hear what your own thoughts are as well. Those of you that haven't joined yet my membership program, you'll see the link for it below, and in that way we'll be able to share, I do it at least twice a month, some special edition videos associated with gaming and chatting, and there I just basically stream a game and then we talk together, and then I go over more information about my channel and other stuff there. So thank you once again, Gomer Kyle, for this entry here. Without further ado, let's go ahead and let's share it. So here's what he says. Okay, Fernando, this is the story. My dad died recently, and because of that, these memories have come back to me literally. As a kid, I didn't see my dad as much as I'd like. He used to go to what we called a beer joint every night, it seemed. So because of this, there would be some nights I'd stay up and then wait until my dad got home and then hug him. So on one of these such nights, as I was slowly falling asleep, waiting for him to get home, I heard a noise in the back. Since my parents had two rooms, my mom in the front, my dad in the back, I knew that it was my dad. So as I go to give him a hug, I feel and see this black shadow type blob there instead. First, I thought it was my dad since it was dark. As I go to hug him, instead, this black blob engulfed me. At least that's what it felt like. And as I tried to get away, I felt something holding me. So I ran away, jumped in my bed, and pulled the covers up over my head. When my dad actually got home, I had told him about the story, and he said I was imagining it because I was a kid. This happened a few more times, only the figure wasn't as big as it was before. It was shrinking down so much that the last time it was just a small little poof and then it was gone. I lived in that house 22 years. My mom died in 1994. And I had thought that I had seen that black blob again. Rather than being a blob, it was a shadow person in the shape of my mother, and this happened the day after her funeral. I've never seen that shadow figure again, but lots of paranormal stuff would go on in that trailer. I always felt like somebody was watching me. When you get the hairs standing up on the back of your neck, I do feel my mother was watching me around the house because she died there. When I saw her shadow figure, I was taken back, of course. Now here, 29 years after my mom's death, everything seems full circle because the day after we buried my dad, which was February 19th, I see another shadow figure, but in his shape, in the house I'm living in now. I like to think that that was him telling me everything's gonna be okay. Maybe the black blob did not want to harm me in any way. Maybe just reassuring me that everything is gonna be okay. My dad will be home soon from the bar. Now, it's been 4 months since he passed, and I haven't seen any type of paranormal activity since. Maybe shadow figures can be more than just evil. Maybe sometimes shadow figures are there to ensure you that everything is going to be okay, kind of like ghosts do at times. Really, who knows? Maybe shadow people try to trick you into thinking there's somebody else, like a ghost will also at times. Thanks for hearing my story, Fernando. Awesome dude, cheers. And then that's it. That's everything associated with this encounter from Gomer Kyle. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that here. For starters, I give my condolences with regards to your dad dying recently. We talked about that again on one of the members videos that we were live streaming a couple of weeks back. So it's always a loss, a big loss when that happens. So again, my sincere condolences. Interesting, though, as far as what happens when it comes to that first initial encounter way back when. It looks like in your case, Gomer Kyle, you had that black blob. You thought it was your dad coming home, right? and then he was going into the area that your dad usually goes into, and so you didn't think twice about it, but instead it wasn't him, it was this black blob, and it engulfed you. Interesting to see. I wonder what that felt like. Was it something that felt cold? Was it something that felt hot? Usually when people are dealing with ghost encounters, and I've had my own as well, this was there over in Seguin, Texas, the Magnolia Hotel. I had a ghost actually touch me, a lady ghost there in the living room, who was fond of basically like rubbing against people. In her case, she rubbed her arm or her finger on my arm as through the shoulder area, and it felt cold. It felt very cold. The room itself was room temperature. This, though, felt isolated and felt very cold as it slowly went up my shoulder. So that's what it felt like to me. So I'm wondering if that black blob also felt in a cold manner as well. And then interesting to read that the shape itself started to get lesser and lesser. The impression I got was that it was going away. It was built up first, and then it made its presence known as a big black blob. But then afterward, it was slowly going away until it was nothing. And then that happened again, it looks like, with regards to the situation with your dad. There he was. He ended up passing away. You buried him back on February 19th, and then lo and behold, another shadow figure makes its presence known, this time in the house that you're living in now. So it shows intelligence. Quite extraordinary when it comes to the timing of this new shadow figure, and on top of that, the location. It's too much to disregard that it couldn't be your dad. It's definitely you're listing it as if it's your dad again, saying something like it's going to be okay, it's going to be fine, as they're saying goodbye. I totally agree with that notion as well. Too much of a coincidence otherwise. And just like the previous encounter, it wasn't doing anything bad. The assessment that these shadow figures can be more than just evil, I've talked about that within some of my other listings as well, some of my other videos, where sometimes shadow figures are basically they come out and they show themselves sometimes as premonitions or sometimes as warnings, something that could happen to somebody. And that's a way to catch their attention, so they're being more beneficial towards someone. But in this case, it seems like it's just someone saying goodbye and then doing it one last time, especially considering what occurred with your dad and then previously with your mother. But otherwise, some really great stuff, really good information. Thank you so much again, Gomer Kyle, for that. If anyone has any more similar experiences like this, anyone have some relatives, close relatives pass away, and then you are seeing strange black blobs or shadow figures, let me know. Post it in the comments as well. There's bound to be some other people that have had some similar situations as well. And as always, again, if you wanted to join the membership, the link is below, and then you'll be able to provide your information very easily like that when it comes to the comments that I have there on the exclusive memberships. All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.